everyone, Tracy here with the Oasis for Natural Healing. So, an interesting topic today, and actually, it kind of applies to, um, I guess, kind of what's going on right now in my business. So, I was wondering why things were a little bit slow in the office. Like, normally I get like more emails and I get more phone calls, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And all of a sudden, I'm on my email and it says something like, oh gosh, let me actually go over to it. It's really kind of weird. So it says, your domain is not fully working yet. I'm like, what do you mean my domain isn't fully working yet? And so I try sending an email and I can't send an email. I'm like, that is so odd. I'm like, okay, I was just able to send an email the other day. I'm like, what's going on? So no emails, can't send out emails to patients or to colleagues or to respond. So then I look at my website. My website's completely down. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. And I am not tech savvy by any means. And I'm almost getting ready to send like a recovery type thing. And then I looked at, I'm like, oh, if you send a recovery thing, it's going to take what, 2 business days? I'm like, well, I can't be without my email for 2 business days. How sad is it that we rely so much on technology nowadays? And so I call up, a good friend of mine who manages like all of this stuff for me because he's more tech savvy than I am. I'm like, oh my goodness. And how funny when something, electronic goes hey wonky, like how we can't function throughout the day. Like it's just amazing and how much we're so dependent on electronic stuff. And then that got to me to thinking, I'm like, oh, well, this would actually be a really good topic because the nervous system is electric. And how many people are actually suffering, with issues, and they've tried everything. They've thrown like pretty much all the things, acupuncture, chiropractic, homeopathy. And it's like throwing spaghetti at the wall to seeing which noodle will stick, right? Who has done that? Who's out there that has kind of tried all the things to see like, well, if I throw like a whole bunch of things all at once, something has to stick. Something has to help me. And you're like, but nothing is sticking and nothing seems to help. And the dial is not moving. It's not budging. It's not doing anything. And in fact, it might even be getting worse. Or you take something that you think is going to help you and you think that it's going to do, I don't know, like let's say ginger. Ginger root is really good for the gut and it's really good for like upset bellies and things like that. And you take ginger and it actually makes it worse. So what you thought was going to help does just the complete opposite. And you're just like, okay, well, now what do I do? Like, it's not working. Well, maybe somebody has never told you this, but chances are your nervous system short-circuited, basically. Not to say that it's not working, because short-circuit things still work. They just don't work as well as they should, and they kind of send mixed signals all over the place. And so your body doesn't know up from down, left from right, or things like that. And this is what we call nervous system switching. So in holistic health, we call this nervous system switching. And I actually love this because it's actually very easy to kind of sometimes detect in patients. So for instance, if the person's nervous system is switched, if you know somebody and you tell them go to your left and then they go to the right, that's confusion within the nervous system. There's 2 parts of the nervous system. You have your fight and flight, and you have your rest and digest. Okay. Both of them are supposed to be working, just at certain times or certain things during the day, one is more dominant than the other one, right? So you want your rest and digest to be more dominant while you're eating meals, while you're getting ready for bed. You shouldn't be like adrenaline junkie right before bed. Your body should be getting ready to wind down. Or you should be a little bit more awake, a little bit more energized throughout the day. And instead you're just like dragging your butt and you just cannot, you can't function. You're just so tired. But then at night, you're wired but tired. You're laying there and you're just like, I'm so tired, but like the brain won't stop. You can't seem to sit still. You're tossing, you're turning, and you're just like, can I ever go to sleep? Right? Chances are your nervous system is switched. There's confusion. Your rest and digest and your fight or flight part of the nervous system, they're mixed up, right? One is on when it should be off, the other one is off when it should be on, or vice versa. So there's a little bit of confusion. Or think of your like somebody in your family, or maybe a friend of yours, you give them caffeine and it calms them down. Or you give somebody Benadryl, not saying that I recommend Benadryl, but like Benadryl usually makes everybody sleepy. Well, in this person, it makes them anxious or it makes them wired. So they have an opposite reaction to that supplement or medication. Chances are their nervous system is switched. Okay, so they're going to have an opposite reaction. Caffeine calms an ADD, ADHD person down. Okay, so there's a little bit of confusion within the nervous system. So it doesn't matter what you throw at it, your body cannot heal, because guess what? In essence, just like my email and the electrical system going on in my email, it's a little short-circuited and there's some miscommunication that's going on and I can't send out emails properly. So my message is not getting to where it needs to go. Just like your nervous system has to send out messages to the rest of your organs. Well, if it's a little quote unquote short-circuited, those messages from your brain traveling down your spinal cord and out to your organs are misfiring somewhere. So there's a little bit of confusion going on. And this is why, like, all the supplements, the chiropractic, the acupuncture, all the things that you have tried doing are just not sticking. Maybe you got a little bit of result, but it's just not really doing anything, or it made things worse because the nervous system is just not firing as well as it should be. There's a miscommunication, just like my email is not, it's not being sent out to the right recipients. So what causes nervous system switching? I'm so glad that you asked. Things like heavy metals and heavy chemicals, toxins. How many toxins are we bombarded by on a daily basis? Lots. I don't even want to go into it. And sometimes it's even hidden in our food supply. Most of us are waking up to that, and we know that. So, but toxins are in the, well, I eat organic, Tracy. Good. But guess what? Organic in the US is not really organic. It's less toxic, but it's not really organic because we've already kind of basically screwed our soil up. Okay. So it's less toxic. Plus, we have all of the pollution in the air that we're breathing in, and then you cannot control what your next door neighbor sprays on his lawn. You could be breathing that in, right? So you could be having you could have an organic like garden, but if your next door neighbor is like spraying weed killer all over the place and it blows onto your lawn or blows into your garden, well, that's not really organic anymore, right? So we're getting exposed to toxins all the time. This can short circuit our nervous system, so to speak. Foods that we eat. Okay, so believe it or not, a lot of what we eat is chemically processed. It's made to last forever and ever and ever. We have a lot of GMO foods that our bodies don't recognize as foods anymore when we ingest. So foods that we eat can cause inflammation. Typically, what I see is grains and sugars are the big thing that can cause inflammation within the body. There's other ones too, but those are typically the biggest culprits. And so that can throw off the nervous system. Some other things that can throw off the nervous system, parasites. Parasites are notorious for doing that. They can cause the nervous system to go hay wonky. And where do we get parasites from? Well, I mean, it's been all over the news lately, which holistic practitioners have been telling people this. Now all of a sudden, because it's all over the news, now it's a real thing, and now everybody who's got GI symptoms are running to the doctors thinking that they got, exposed to these parasites from, the vegetables and stuff. Well, guess what? That's not anything new. This has been going on for years and years and years and years, and since the beginning of dawn. Our organic vegetables and stuff like that, it has parasites in there. We've been telling you this forever. And now just because it's been, mainstream media, now it's a real thing. But parasites, yes, they're in our foods. Okay. Raw foods, sushi, in our water supply. Okay. Yes, tap water has it too. There was a guy who I posted this a couple years ago. They did a neti pot nasal wash using tap water, and they got a brain-eating amoeba and died. Okay, so it's in our tap water. It is in lakes and oceans. So if you ever swim in a lake, an ocean, a river, whatever, okay, it's in the soil. So we're being exposed. Any biting insect can have parasites. So these are notorious for causing nervous system irritation or nervous system switching, and can throw off your nervous system, which means then your body cannot regulate itself. It's like the hard drive to the computer system. Okay. So this is possibly why you're not getting any better, why you've tried all the things and you've tried all the recommendations, all the supplements that your friend had recommended, or even, another practitioner possibly had recommended and stuff like that. Because if your nervous system is not functioning optimally, you could throw all the right things at your body, but it's not going to be able to utilize it. So you got to see if the nervous system, first off, is firing correctly. And then if it's not, then we got to handle the underlying issue. Is it the toxins? Is it the food? Is it parasites? Is it mold? Is it Lyme or Lyme co-infection? Like, what's the root cause? Fix that, then the nervous system can start working properly. And then guess what? Then your body can heal. It would be like, for instance, like, let's say your computer was all wonky, right? And you have the hard drive, and then you have all the parts of the computer, right? You have, let's say, the mouse, the printer, the fax machine, the speakers, and all those things are all goofy. And they're not functioning properly. Well, I've done this before, where the speaker's not working properly and you're not looking, and you kind of take the speaker and you shake it or you whack it a little bit, like, oh, it's staticky. So I'm just going to hit it and see if that doesn't work. Or I'm going to take the cord and I'm going to jiggle it and hoping that works, right? Sometimes it does, but a lot of times it doesn't. Well, maybe the reason why the mouse or the speakers aren't working, maybe it's not the actual speaker or the mouse. Maybe it's the hard drive. Maybe the hard drive is not communicating to the other parts of the computer to work properly. It can't do it. And so that's why you're having all these other issues with the computer. All the other parts are not able to function properly because the hard drive is all screwed up. Well, that's kind of like your body. If the nervous system is not functioning optimally, your organs, glands, or tissues cannot work properly. Fix the nervous system. And then instead of having, like, let's say 20 different organs be off kilter, now maybe you only have 2. Just like the computer, you fix the hard drive. And then instead of having the mouse, the printer, the fax machine, and the speakers not working properly, now maybe it's just the speakers and the mouse. Now everything else can do its job. And then you can just focus on the real issues. So that's what we do in quantum nutrition testing. We break all of that down and we figure out, like, hey, what's really going on? Why are you not? Why is your nervous system off balance? Why is it that every time you throw something on your body and at your body, it's not working properly and you're getting an opposite reaction? Chances are it's your nervous system. Find out what's causing your nervous system irritation, fix that, then healing can happen. If you want to find out how this actually works, give us a call, 708-694-4092 for a free discovery phone call. No obligation, just a quick phone call just to see what it's about. Or if you're just like, you know what, I really kind of need that because I'm tired of wasting money figuring out what's working for me and what's not working for me. And I'm just tired of the time and the money wasted. We're actually having a special. So back to school special includes MBX Plus blood test, 2 1-hour appointments. That typically is $350. That's $125. And when you do it, your kids get free consultations as well. So that way the whole family can get better and healthy. So $125 for you and your kids, not bad. Give us a call, 708-694-4092. That ends at the end of August. And if you have an HSA or FSA account, that does pay for the consultation as well. Any questions? Leave them in the comments. Have a good one.